myself Mahalakshmi M from First BBA. I am here to say a short story called The Gift of the Magi, which was written by O. Henry and published in the year 1906. Love is the central theme in The Gift of the Magi. $1.87. That was all, and 60 cents of it was penance. Three times Della counted it. $1.87, and next day would be Christmas. There was clearly nothing left. This reflects that life is made up of soaps, sniffles, and smiles. Take a look at the home, a furniture flat at $8 per week. It did not exactly beggars discrimination, but it certainly had that word on the lookout. A letter box into which no letter would go, and a electrical button from which no mortal finger could coax a ring. Their income per week was $30 per week. Now the income was shrunk to $20 per week. Della finished her cry. She stood by the window and looked out dully at the grey cat walking a grey fence in a grey backyard. Now Della looks at the glass and sees her long hair. Now there were two possessions which they both look a mighty pride. One was Jim's gold watch that had been his father's and grandfather's. The other was Della's hair. Della would have let her hair hang out of the window some days to dry. Now on went her old brown jacket, on went a whole brown hat, and stepped out of the door and went to the salon. Will you buy my hair? Asked Della. I buy hairs, said the lady. Take the hat off and let me look at the hair. $20, said the lady. Give it to me, said Della. For the next 2 hours, Della spent it in shopping. After a long confusion, Della decided to buy a platinum fob chain for the old watch which had an old leather strap. Della decided to replace platinum instead of leather strap. Within 40 minutes, her head was covered with tiny lying curls that made her look wonderfully like a schoolboy. If Jim doesn't kill me, she said to herself. At 7 o'clock, the coffee was made and a frying pan was on the stove. Jim was never late. Della doubled the fob chain in her hand and sat on the corner of the table near the door that that he was entered. Then Della heard Jim's footsteps. She whispered, "Please God, make him think I'm still breathing." The door opened and Jim stepped in and closed it. He looked thin and very serious. Poor fellow, he was only 22 and to be burdened with a family. His eyes were fixed upon Della and there was an expression in them that she could not read. And it terrified her. It was not anger, nor surprise, nor horror, nor disapproval, nor any of these sentiments. Della cried, "Do not look at me that way, darling. I cut off my hair and soul to buy a gift for you." Jim was speechless. He said, "Look at the gift I bought for you." That was a set of combs which was bought by selling the watch. Now both of them kept their gifts apart and started eating their Christmas dinner happily. Moral of the story, both of them sacrificed their pride to buy Christmas gifts for each other. Thus, story says the love between Jim and Della, the sacrifice they made for their partners. I end up my story by telling a quote, "Love makes us to do crazy things." Will Smith. Thank you.